If you do any of these things, you need to be banned from every movie theater on the planet. Arriving to the movie showing late, not the trailers, but the actual movie. I have no issue with people moving around, getting up to go get popcorn, drinks, going to use the restroom real quick during the movie trailers in the beginning, because to me personally, they don't really matter. And if they mattered to you, you could just look up the trailer after the movie. But if you walk into a theater when the movie has already started, shame on you, because what ends up happening is, number one, people or yourself have to now get up and make room or adjust your seat for the people who came in late to the movie showing. And then it's like that awkward, like, you gotta like move your feet and like adjust yourself, you know what I mean? You might miss something, okay? It's not like you can go back or rewind what you missed. Number two, lots of times they have to pull out their phone and turn on the flash because the lights have dimmed down and they're trying to find their section, or they're trying to find their seat. And I'm just like, this wouldn't have happened. You had 30 minutes, probably 35 minutes to look up where you had to sit, get your popcorn, use the restroom, get your candy, get whatever. But no, you had to come late. Sitting in seats that you didn't reserve. The greatest innovation to the movie theater experience is being able to reserve your seats. If you don't remember what life was like before you could reserve seats, it was almost like a gamble. You could have paid the $10, $15 and end up having to sit in the front of the movie theater. So reserving seats was a huge upgrade, but there are some delinquents that know they are sitting at the wrong seats because you got better seats. So now you have to either pull out your phone to prove that they're in the wrong seats, or you have to pull out your tickets and put the flash on to show that they are in the wrong section of seats or whatever. If it's a genuine mistake, I have no issue with it, but most times it's some random couple that couldn't find seating together, or it's a large group of people that couldn't sit with their group and want to inconvenience you or see if they can get away with it. I'm sitting in the seat that I paid for. I'm not moving or walking around or doing anything else. I'm sitting in the seat that I paid for. Eating excessively loud during the movie. I remember watching Top Gun Maverick with my dad, and this guy had just finished drinking his icy or his little smoothie thing or whatever it's called. And no joke, this dude in the middle of a movie started doing this. I'm just sitting there just like, okay, this is really happening. And I'm just like, is this dude really doing this? Just straight up drumming on his cup. Like, what? Or whenever there's like an emotional scene or there's like an intense scene happening, and then just some random person would just, or they'll pull one of these. Or you'll hear that one person that has like a bunch of those like Reese's Pieces. Oh, I mean, that happens too, they drop it. They drop them. We are sitting right next to each other. What are we doing? And by we, I mean you. What are you doing? I have no issue with eating, but it's the excessively loud people that annoy the crap out of me. Again, if you have to open up your candy, open that bad boy up. But if you have zero chill in regards to the people around you, you need to be banned. Using your phone during the movie with your brightness all the way up. As I've gotten older, my phone is always getting notifications, either emails from work, text from friends or family, social media. I can't escape it. We live in the 21st century. If you have to send a quick text or need to check your email for whatever reason, please put your brightness down for the love of all that is holy. We are in a dark auditorium. If you have your brightness all the way up, you are going to blind the person next to you. And guess what? You're especially gonna blind the person behind you. Taking your shoes off with no socks on. If you take your shoes off and you don't have socks on, you have zero social cues. Not a single individual in that auditorium of about 100 people signed up to smell or see your stinky feet. And I want to be clear, I still have an issue with people who take off their shoes and have socks on, but it's just a little uncomfortable to me. I can shrug it off and keep enjoying my movie. Of course, if your feet stink, you gotta put your shoes back on, but this little piece of clothing makes a huge difference to me, because most people have Shaq-esque feet. If you don't know what they look like, skip a little bit, but this is what they look like.
And guard your eyes.
So them Fred Flintstones, baby.
Yeah.
Yabba dabba doo.
Dead man, welcome. Going back to the cave and look at that.
You've heard of.
And in general, feet just freak me out, okay? I don't want to see those nasty toes. Snapchat/Instagram storying a recently released movie. If you post on social media that you're about to watch a movie, or you post the credits of a movie with a ranking, then I have zero beef with you. But if you're one of the people that posts whole clips of a movie that was recently released, you need your social media banned. We need to find your IP address and get you banned from everything, honestly. And you need to be banned from every movie theater. I have people I personally know that I have to be careful with because for whatever reason, they need to show people clips of the movie. Like, what are you doing? Why do you want to spoil it for people? And it's not just people who post clips, but people who post single frames of movies. A single frame can spoil a lot of a movie too, even if it's just one single frame. I remember this one time I was on Instagram watching stories and some random chick posted clips of the recently released Godzilla vs. Kong or whatever Godzilla x Kong movie. Thank God I watched that movie on the premiere night, but imagine everyone who is a film fan or a fan of this franchise watching the climax of the movie on Instagram. Bringing children to watch a non-kids movie. Children are a blessing from God, but not in a movie theater during a movie that isn't for kids. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a movie theater and a random baby will start crying in the background. Like, dude, why? We're watching The Nun. Why are you bringing a kid to watch this? I remember just recently watching specifically Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That's a long name. And in the back, there were two fat kids running around like, oh my gosh. Oh God, like, bro, I paid so much money to watch this movie.
Oh, make you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart. You know what I'm saying? Praise God, baby.
And look, I don't blame kids. I blame the parents. Kids are going to be kids. They have zero awareness of the people around them. If it's a movie like Super Mario or Frozen 2, then I have to suck it up because it's a kid's movie. I'm still gonna be annoyed, but I have no room to complain about because it's a kid's movie. Asking questions during the movie. If you don't know much about filmmaking, I'm gonna tell you something that you need to understand from now until the end of time. If you have a question about the plot, 9 times out of 10, the filmmaker wants you to ask yourself that question. If you don't know who a character is or where a scene takes place, either the filmmaker doesn't want you to know that just yet, or it's not important to the scene and the filmmaker wants you to focus on something else. Not to mention, if you're watching a movie with me and you ask me a question, most likely I'm asking myself that question too. So how would I answer the question that you have? Now, if you get up to use the restroom or go to refill your drink, then you knew the risk you were taking in missing something that might have been important to the movie. So please don't ruin the movie by leaning over to the person next to you, asking questions, please. Making out during the movie. Similar to the feet out during the movie, no one paid to listen to 2 people making out in a movie theater. Save all that energy for after the movie. Go get a room, do that in your car, but please don't do that next to me. I don't think I need to explain as to why I don't like that, so I'll just leave it at that. If you take nothing else in this video, just know that this is the #1 sin: talking during the movie. I know some of the other pet peeves include some way, shape, or form of talking, but I really want to express my hatred towards people when they are talking during the movie. I remember watching a movie and the lady was just talking on the phone with a family member, not like a, hey, I can't talk, I'm watching a movie, but a full-blown conversation. Like, do what? I remember another time I was watching a movie and these 2 people next to me were just giving commentary on the movie we were watching. Like, why? Why would you think that's okay? Like, were you raised in a jungle, man? This is the #1 rule in a movie theater, and it's the #1 rule people break. Please ban them. You need to be banned if you do that, honestly. These next complaints are towards movie theaters themselves, not really people. Movie theater food prices. Why on God's green earth is food so expensive in movie theaters? I understand they have bills, but I promise you, once the stereotype of movie theater food and drinks being expensive goes away, you can make so much money. I can't stress how many times I've been in a situation where I have to choose between going to eat somewhere or going to go watch a movie. Like, I know the food is expensive in a movie theater, so I know not to get food there. But at the same time, I know movie theaters have a schedule. So most times, if I can't find a good time/money balance between the 2 things I want to do, watching a movie and eat, 9 times out of 10, I just go out to eat and just forget about the movie entirely. I saw strangers this past past weekend with my family and wanted something to drink, so I got a bottle of water. Dude, a bottle of water was $6. You can get a whole gallon of water at Walmart for $1. The last complaint I have for movie theaters is a small one, like it's really small. Hard to read seating numbers. Seating naming is like F19, G5, and they have gigantic letters for the rows, but then they have the smallest numbers near the drink holders and no one can see them. Can you please make seating numbers glow in the dark or make them a larger font or both? I feel like I still have pretty good eyesight and it's a hassle to find seating with the small numbering of seats. Now that I'm done complaining, which I feel like I can complain even more, I feel like this idea would be very beneficial to movie theater chains. So if one of you uses them and makes a lot of money, could I get some of it, please? Okay, so you know how movie theater chains have their own apps to be able to see when movie times are? I personally don't use their apps. I use Fandango since, you know, you can see multiple theater chains, but that's beside the point. Imagine if on their movie theater app, you could notify somebody on staff about maybe a group of kids being disruptive or possibly a dirty section in the movie theater, or hey, maybe they forgot to dim the lights. You know, it doesn't happen that much, but it does happen often enough where you're just like, who do I get in contact with? You know, wouldn't that be great? I feel like people would be better behaved knowing that if they're being disruptive, they can be held accountable. And look, of course, it could possibly be abused, but I'm sure every auditorium has cameras that employees could check, you know, just to verify that the complaint is true, that it's honest. Because I know that some movie theater chains, if I'm not wrong, they have like some sort of app to where you can order like popcorn or a drink to your like specific auditorium and your seat. So why couldn't they do something like this, you know? Something that could like keep the quality in check. Does that make sense? Anyways, enough of me rambling. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I love you more than most. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked this video. Check out some of my other stuff. I'm sure you'd like some of my other rambling of me just babbling on and yapping on. Leave a comment down below of what you want me to talk about. I'm willing to talk about pretty much anything, honestly. I don't know what else to say, except I'll see you in the next video. Or not. I don't know. You know, only God knows. So yeah, I hope you're good. Tell me if you're good. Tell me if you're bad. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Enough of me rambling. Peace.